Salbona, guys! It's Sarcy here. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I appreciate your support. Today, as you can see, I've got nice wet hair. I'm going to be going through what I do when I put effort in to keep my hair nice and curly throughout the day. I'm going to show you today is the products I use, and how I apply them to my hair, my routine that I do, and using my diffuser on my dryer, because that is one thing I never really used until this past year. Actually, I didn't even own a hair dryer until this last year because I was always so paranoid of it making my hair frizzy. So here we go. I started with my hair conditioned in the shower. This is just a tip for any other curly hair friends that if you do have not just wavy hair, but especially curly hair that needs a lot of moisture, find a good conditioner, whether it's a leave-in or not, and do leave it in. If you are a mom and you don't have time to sit in the shower, and when it says like leave in for 10 minutes, like which mom gets a 10-minute shower? It just doesn't happen. So put it in your hair, get out of the shower, don't towel dry your hair, squeeze as much water out as you can, tie it up with a clip, and let it sit for a good 10 minutes or until you remember that you did condition your hair, because I've done that before where I literally go to bed at night, I'm like, oh, I conditioned my hair this morning and I didn't rinse it out. But it's fine. So carry on. When you get a chance, rinse it out with cold water, flip your head upside down so that all those curls can kind of get loose. Run your fingers through it instead of a comb, because that's much more natural. It'll keep your curls from getting too detangled. I mean, you want them untangled, but I think you'll find that if you use a comb or something, it's going to pull those curls apart and it's going to be harder to get them to shape the way you want them to afterwards. So I use my fingers, cold water, rinse that conditioner out. Right now, my favorite is Aunt Jackie's. You can find her in Clicks, and it's a nice big tub. It's about 55 Rand, I think, which is really great for this amount that you get. And if you keep an eye out for those 3 for 2 specials, you can get 3 of them for around 100 Rand, which is really, really good. And it does last me a while. So this is what I've used. I've already rinsed my hair out. Another tip is, if you want to keep your curls from frizzing, especially if you live in a more humid climate, is use a t-shirt instead of a towel. So that's what I do. You can even stick your hair through the head of the t-shirt, like so. I'm not going to do it now. But you pull all your hair through, and then you wrap the shirt around and you do a little turban just like you would with a towel. It's just much softer for your hair so that it doesn't cause friction between those curls, and you can even just use it afterwards to get as much moisture out as possible. And so you scrunch it. So even now, like, it looks nice, but I know it's not going to air dry this way. So what I do next is I get some of my favorite products. Again, here in South Africa, I really, really love the Aunt Jackie's range. And this does it for me. Look how big this jar of product is. This is the Curl La La Defining Curl Custard. And it's so great. You don't have to use a lot. It adds moisture without like weighing your hair down. And it smells so good, you guys. It smells really good. I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like grapes, I guess. But it's really, really nice, very affordable, does a great job with your hair. Today, however, for nostalgia purposes, I am using some products that I have from the States. It's Beyond the Zone Pro Formula Noodle Head. So the cool story behind this is that when I was a teenager and I finally figured out that I had curly hair and it wasn't just frizzy, I didn't actually know how to take care of it. And so I start with, the pump doesn't work anymore, this Kick Up Your Curls curling cream. And I'm going to put a bit of that, and it smells like coconuts and holiday. And, oh, and what I didn't finish my story. What I was saying now is when it wasn't cool to have curly hair, I would try everything to make it look straight, but it just ended up looking frizzy. And since I had kind of a bob, then it ended up just being this frizzy triangle around my head. I could find a picture and show you, but I don't think that's necessary. I'm sure you've all experienced that before. So I'm going to put a bit of that in all the way through. You don't need a lot. And this was the first stuff that I found that really worked for me. And I didn't even found it. It was a really sweet friend of mine and her mom, and they found this at a beauty shop, and they got me like a little trial size of it. It was a little kit with the trial sizes, and I tried it, and it worked, and I was so happy because, yeah, I was sick of being in between that zone of not being able to have straight hair and my hair not curling. So this was the first thing that did it for me. And if you remember, straighteners back in the early 2000s were not great. They really just like made your frizz slightly less frizzy. They didn't actually straighten your hair if you had really curly hair. So that was a whole other thing that's really made progress. So now I'm going to use my diffuser. Anything like this is going to work great. Do not use the hot setting, please. That is going to cause more frizz for your hair. It's going to cause damage to your hair because your curly hair tends to be drier, and use it on a low setting. So what I'm going to do first is actually just kind of go around on the sides like this and on the inside. I'm not going to flip upside down yet because I actually want to get it a little bit more dry before I start putting more definition in it. So here we go. You could go back to your t-shirt in between and scrunch. So that's kind of the first little bit of drying that I do with that first bit of product. And then I go to my mousse, which you don't need this many products on a regular basis. But again, like I said, this is if I don't feel like straightening my hair and we're going out on a date or something, because let's be honest, on a hot summer day, the last thing you want to do is use too much or too many hot tools near your head. And I also find that with curly hair, you can very easily kind of, if you get too hot, flip it back or pull it off of your neck and it still looks elegant. With straight, when my hair is straightened, I have to actually go look in a mirror and make sure I'm not pulling it in a wonky way to make it still look elegant, if that makes sense. Because with straight hair, you are going to see if there's like a little bump or a pull that's not supposed to be there. But with curly hair, you can kind of get away with it because the bumps are supposed to be there. So here I've added my mousse, and now this is where I go to flip my hair upside down and start drying that way. And I am using the Vital Sassoon 2000 Volume Brilliance hair dryer. Here we go. I chose this hair dryer not because it was just affordable, but my mom had a Vital Sassoon for as long as since I was like born, I think, and that thing lasted. It might still be alive. I'm not sure because I don't live there anymore, but honestly, that thing went forever. I know there's loads of other fancy new tech brands out there, but this one has really been good to me. So here I go, flipping my hair upside down and continuing to dry. Okay, so now it is almost dry. You can already see I have got really nice volume going on. You can really play with it. If you don't know about how hair and heat works, it does take approximately 20 minutes for your hair to cool. So what I like to do now, my last step is this spray. Again, I was using this Beyond the Zone previously. I don't think I said what it's called. It's still the Noodle Head. It is Firm Holding Curling Mousse. And that also smells really great. So I'm putting that aside and I'm picking up their spray. This is their Activate Your Curls Curl Boosting Spray. I'm going to spritz that all over, underneath, and over top. You can even flip your hair under or over for this, because I find if I'm spraying it directly on top, it ends up hitting my scalp more than the hair. So I like flipping it over so I know that the actual product is going onto my hair like it needs to and not just sitting on top of my head. So that's plenty. And now what I'm going to do is use the cool setting on my dryer and add a bit more air to it to dry it a little bit further. But I never actually dry my hair 100% when I'm going with my curly natural hair look. I want that last bit while it's cooling off to air dry. The nice thing about living in Pretoria, it is a very dry climate, so it does dry fairly quickly. I know if you're living in more of a humid climate, your hair is going to be pretty much slightly damp the rest of the day. I would say still, like, don't blow dry it all the way, because that just leaves more room for the humidity outside of your hair cuticle to find its way in and do its own thing. So leave that moisture there and let the product and that moisture work together so that it can finish off the style, and then you can do whatever you want with it afterwards. So you can see I've got like little flyaways here, so afterwards I can kind of tame those into place. But let's do that cooling down first, and then we'll do the taming. Okay. So you can see I've got nice curls going on. I've got plenty of volume to work with. That's not usually an issue for me. And then since you have those 20 minutes for your hair to cool the rest of the way and dry the rest of the way, you can kind of shape these little curls by your face to how you want, and then they will curl as needed. If you need like a little bit more curl custard or something like that to keep it in shape, great. If this is how you're gonna go out, like, I'm happy with this. It doesn't usually go this well for me, so I got lucky today. It knew that you were watching. Thank you. And I'm sure you noticed I was using my hands a lot. You can use the diffuser straight and just like keep going up and down, but I feel like I have more control when I use my hands, and I can also keep feeling to see how dry it's getting. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there with the camera and the computer, and it just died. Thankfully, the rest of the recording is saved. But if you have any more questions about curly hair, how to style your hair depending on the weather, etc., please drop them in the comments below. Tell me your stories about figuring out that you had curly hair, because sometimes you don't realize it until you're in grade 7 and you get a haircut thinking that it's going to look cute. And then you realize, nope, your hair is super cute, or super curly, and you look like a poodle. That's what happened to me. So let me know what you thought of this, and thank you for watching today. If you like my content so far, please subscribe. I'm dipping my toe into this whole YouTube thing, and I want to know what you guys think. Is this something that you want to see more of? Do you want to see more hair videos? Do you want to see more makeup videos, skin videos, and testing products? Let me know. Thank you so much, though, for joining me, and have a wonderful day full of fun and new things, and be brave and try something new today. And I will see you again in my next video.